What's up, y'all? Today it is Chamblizi the Almighty here, and I'm replacing the tension rods on my Infiniti M30, which is some of the parts can be, all the parts actually can be swapped with S13 parts. I've been battling a little bit of front end vibration, just a little bit of front end vibration in this area like that. So I've been through a myriad of things since I've had my M30, but today we're going to replace the tension rods. As you can tell, I haven't showed you it yet, but the tension rods are shot. Welcome to the channel. So one thing you can notice when you having problems with your tension rods is tracking. So say for instance, you go on an uneven road and your car pulls left and pulls right. If it's not the rack and pinion bushings, obviously, which are already brand new, it would be something like this, which is your tension rod. Look at this. These are clearly shot. If you really want to test these before you take them off your car, if you see grease around them, of course, they're going to obviously be bad. But whenever the way to do it, some of the bars inside of here slides into this and it slides down on the lower control arm. While it's bolted in, you can take a pry bar and pry it a little bit. If it has a little bit too much movement to it, then that means it's definitely bad. But like I said, this is like a 30-year-old tension rod here, so it's long overdue. It's grease flowing out the thing. So I went out and purchased some GODSPEED. These cost me $52 on eBay. I want to try to post some links down below to make sure that you get the correct. Well, actually, these were 64 bucks. Purchased them from online from a vendor, not necessarily GODSPEED, but they are GODSPEED. Well, the paperwork, this product is made to fit S14, but the S13 and S14 tension rods adjustable, which will also control your caster, are the exact same as the other. So S13, S14, they're pretty much the same thing. But for 64 bucks, these are pretty high quality. We're gonna do unpackaging. Set you up right here. And yeah, like I said, the reason why these are probably so cheap because this is an old style. And like I said, I didn't want to spend a lot for the OEM. Now, of course, there's no welding on here, so I don't have nothing to worry about as far as that area. The quality is actually pretty good in my personal opinion. This came with the bolts. It's supposed to come with the bolts. If it doesn't come with bolts, return it back. But compared to this, that's a big change. So you're supposed to do an alignment when you get these put in right afterwards. But of course, for me, what I'm going to do is measure both of these up with a flat base ruler on both sides and measure up the center hole. So I'm going to measure up the center hole, put the eyelet on it, and basically that's what we're doing here. I know this isn't, a lot of people like, oh, it's not high quality, but at least it says GODSPEED on it, so it's got to be GODSPEED. I checked their website, they wanted $119 for these things, but of course I must have caught them on a special or a deal or something like that, and that's how it is. But this is definitely an old style. I don't think there's any welds or anything of that nature inside of this part. Let me pop this off. Flat side breaker bar, you probably can't see what I'm doing. A pry bar. Making sure. Alright, you need to go out some more. That's actually, turn it in one turn. These are supposed to help with the response of your suspension as well. You can either grease or not grease them. It's up to you what you want to do for these. That's what they say. You don't necessarily have to grease them. They already look much better than what I had on here. I'm gonna let you take a look at the hole. Since I can't see it too well, I'm making sure it's matching up through the camera view with you. And that's about perfectly symmetrical there. So this is actually a perfect match-up, markup. I'm just presetting everything. I'll walk to the parts store and go get me some bolts. Stay tuned. This is part 1. Welcome back to the channel. This is Chamblizi of YouTube.com. Well, formerly known as Chamblizi of YouTube.com. Not Chamblizi Almighty. So, today we're going to be talking about the tension rod install that we did to the Infiniti M30, the 92 Infiniti M30. You know, we're going to break this into three parts. If you had viewed the comments on the first video and everything like that, it kind of looked like I just didn't, you know, finish what I was doing, but I finished the whole install and everything like that. So we're going to be breaking this into 3 parts. I finished the install yesterday, so I've got S13 / S14 R32, basically GODSPEED tension rods that I bought from eBay for about 62 bucks, 62, 64, something like that. And I can say overall I've had a 78% change in overall characteristics of driving the car. But first and foremost, I want to clarify that I'm going to be breaking this into 3 proportions if you haven't already read the commentary below. So, I mean, I've already test driven everything like that, but what I want to do is do a 3 proportion test, and I'm just going to give you the overview of everything that I had to do. So from the last video, in the commentary below, because I'm, you know, not doing a lot of editing, what I'm going to say here is the install went pretty easy. I'm going to try to make a list of things that you have to use to get this done, and make sure that everybody can do this changeover, because my car in particular is rare. So me buying tension rods, that's definitely a no, especially aftermarket, you know. So I could probably use like I30 things and stuff like that from Infiniti, but this is the 1992 Infiniti M30. You know, my mileage is fair. I only put 8,000 miles on my car a year. More to the point of the matter of the fact here. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first thing that you know, I noticed about the install. Now, if I can get you in a better view right here. As you can see, the steering wheel has a more stiffer feeling to it. It's a little bit stiffer, definitely stiffer. But I'm going to take you on the first test ride. This is part 2 of the whole setup here. Part 2 of the setup. So, normally, let me just set you up like this. Normally, if I were to go across bumps or anything like that, it would be like this. And then it would just, you know, just straighten out, or to go like this. It'll have kind of a jump to it in the front end from the old ones. The old tension rods, you know, I would use like I30 parts or, you know, whatever. The basic thing about this car is, the thing is, you have to use a combination of Nissan parts in order to keep this car going. You can be anywhere from Infiniti to Nissan. You'll be anywhere from 89 to let's just say like 2016 for parts, because they don't manufacture the parts for this car anymore. So I'm constantly looking for information and changes and everything to, you know, adjust my car over time to make it to what I want it to be. So we're gonna go on a test ride in a couple minutes. I'm just letting my car warm up because I always warm my car up. 101 case in point, when you drive an older car, it's always best to warm it up. Don't jump into speeding and all that other stuff. So I've got music right now while we're doing a warm up. We're on 1077 FM Washington State right now, which plays my ad of music. So YouTube, don't come messing with me for copyright and copyrights and stuff like that, because you can't, because it's already 1077. They paid for this music to be played on the radio. So give me like 5 minutes and we'll get started with the video on the first proportion of the test drive. We're gonna drive. I gotta go pick up, you know, something to come in the rest of my weekend off. So 1077.
Shot at $1,000 with a $1,000 cash keyword. Happens weekdays at 10 minutes after every hour from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. This is a national contest. Message and data rates apply. The $1,000 cash keyword on 1077 The End.
Okay, we're back from our intermission. Let's turn that radio down and get rolling. Just playing the radio because I don't want to experience any issues with YouTube as far as copyright. We're going on our test drive here. So, first thing you'll notice over bumps, it's not like it was before. It's not very joustly. I'm going to go over this first bump unevenly. Solid. Let's see if I can get this phone to sit in such a manner to where it won't move. I'm going to go straight over. Solid. It's not like it was before to where it would just go voof, voof, and just shake back and forth, or it would kind of bounce and then just go down. It's 1077. We're going on a test drive. I'm gonna go pick up some batteries from the store for, you know, my gaming weekend. I'm gonna try to start doing stuff like that and keep it that way. Next on our list is couplers for the steering shaft, because like I said, I think that's one of the last flaws I've got, as you can tell. So this is one of the other issues I've had. I'm gonna hit it at high speed real quick and hit the brakes and see if you hear the tires skid. If you hear them skip, then that means it's not good. No skippage. There's no skippage in the system anymore, which is entirely great from coming from a stock part to an aftermarket part. So when I do I'm going to try to wait a month, and I'm going to put out the third part, and we're going to do an overall review, because that's going to be the test. Because I live in Washington State, which is, I mean, not really pothole city unless you're going to Seattle, but, you know, like I said, I try to... I'm not sponsored for doing these videos or for parts and stuff like that, so I want to make sure that you get the actual feel of it. Now, okay, we're coming into a turn here. It used to be a lot of jostle coming into parking lots from the front end. It's kind of a throwing motion. very smooth coming in. You want to go across the bump unevenly. Solid. Not a lot of jostle to it. The extra movement you will be seeing is from my phone itself. Heavier bump. Solid. Thick bump. Double. Solid. These tension rods, I had to do the modifications. See, you gotta watch people. You gotta watch them. So, I'm gonna be showing you the underside of my suspension and just run you through some things that I had to use in order to get this done. Park a little bit far away from my destination. I'm really not like full viewing it. My third video is going to be on the full shaft, full throw, all the way to my job. So we're just going to put this on mute. 1077 FM. Putting that on mute. So I'm turning my steering wheel outward so you can see this. It's a lot more settled now too. So, as you can see, the tension rod is installed. On both sides, tension rods are installed. It's S13. So, quick things that I actually want to note about this is that okay, apparently we have a glitch right here, as you can see. So I just wanted to make note on the end of this video, just to make sure that you've got the gist of this. So what you're going to need, I'm going to make it's a 6 tool list that you're going to need to get this done. First, you're going to need a mallet, a 17 millimeter deep socket and short socket. You're going to need an adjustable crescent wrench. That is one thing that you're definitely going to need, because on one side of this particular Y32, the control arm on the passenger side, well, not the control arm, the sway bar blocks access to it, so you're going to have to fit some type of wrench in there. You're also going to need a drill and or a file and a 19 millimeter. You know, I don't understand why we can't make this video in such as a way that it would be in a professional manner, but that's what happens when you use Android. You're going to get some type of glitch. So, with that said, within our third part, of course, we're taking 1 and 2, mashing them together and making it a 2-part, but there's 3 parts, but it's 2 videos mashed into one. I just want to make sure I clarify that. So, mallet, 17 millimeter deep socket and short socket, breaker bar, drill and or file to file out the holes, and a 19 millimeter socket, deep preferred. And make sure all those sockets are 6 points and not 12 points, because if your car has a tendency to have an issue with bolt stripping,
I'm on the bed, don't want no flowers, cause they simple pain. You don't look so that it's white. I see you smiling, so I can't stand all of your tears, cause they fake. I know what they really feel. They would've known much about me. Not into fucking with all these. Money don't count as so. Always be counting on what I earn. If I'm alive, then I make it worse. Won't get caught up with these dirty drugs. My stuff was all I got in this list. Talking about how they be getting drift. Truthfully, I got lost doing the moment, but now I'm alone in atonement.
Got caught up in my head, my way to find it. I don't know where I'm going.
Got caught up in my head, my way to find it. I don't know where I'm going.
I got this butterfly singing in my mind. I'm far from life, my reminiscence fading in my life. I'm holding tight before I die. Let me find real lost in my trapping dreams. I'm paralyzed, the me that I stand side by side, that Bill and God.
God
I will never be free. Can't stop me from everything, so I don't know where to go now. Got caught up in my head, thought way too far ahead. I don't know where I'm going.